the Cherry Hill side or was that the Manning side?
Well, this isn't my usual gig, but just after the July 4th weekend, we are back broadcasting on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting for our first of two games in the New Jersey Section 4 Sectionals. I know, it's quite a tongue twister, but it's between the Cherry Hill American and the Mount Ephraim Hawks. Now, let me give you a little bit of backstory. Back in March, I signed up to be on the Senior League Ball Club for the Mount Ephraim Hawks, coached under George Geis. Unfortunately, in the first 15 minutes of my first practice, I blew out my kneecap and I was out for the rest of the year. So I was given this opportunity by George and the rest of the Mount Ephraim crew to broadcast all of the sectionals games for Mount Ephraim as something of a reprise, if you will, because I wasn't able to play a game for Mount Ephraim, and some of my best friends and acquaintances and classmates are on this Mount Ephraim team. However, we are from West Deptford today in Union Field. Last time we played West Deptford would be with Audubon, and all three games that Audubon played against West Deptford were exciting ones. However, West Deptford has nothing to do with this. The visiting team today is the Cherry Hill American. But here from Union Field, there are some inclement weather conditions outside, so we are upstairs in the booth with the rest of the sectionals, tournament directors, and everybody that's keeping score tonight. So as the fans shuffle in, it's about 6 o'clock. Players are waiting at both dugouts to get the signal, as it looks like the rain has stopped, but from weather.com, from their forecast, it looks like the rain will be persistent until about 7:40 p.m. as a storm system passes through western New Jersey. So hang tight with us as the Cherry Hill American face off against the Mount Ephraim Hawks. We'll mute our mics for now, and we'll be back in a couple minutes as the umpires take the field here from Union Field in West Deptford. Taking the field now is the Mountie from Hawks. On the bump for them tonight will be Chase Hoff, or excuse me, no, it'll be AJ Nopka. They gave me the wrong lineup, so, or at least they gave me one with inaccurate positions, but we'll let bygones be bygones. AJ Nopka, going into his sophomore year at Audubon High School, he takes the bump with Matt Malinowski of Collingswood behind home plate. The rest of the lineup for Mountie from will be Rocco Monaferrani, Jace Hoff, Matt Malinowski, Zach Foster, Diggy Hoff, Hunter Lowe, AJ Nopka, Aiden Lehan, and Dominic Branato. So they're taking the field. The Cherry Hill American will be the first to bat here from Union Field. You know, the last time we were here with one of the hottest games of the year for Audubon in their high school efforts in 2022. Of course, they won that game versus West Deptford 12-8 with a great pitching performance from Charlie Grady, who is now going into his senior year at Audubon. Yeah, we have the right lineup. I just, I saw the wrong position, and, oh, I see what I did. I misread the 8 to be a 1, so the center fielder ended up getting swapped for the pitcher, but. And your starting lineup for the Cherry Hill American will be Jack Mondell in center field, Zach Salisbury at catcher, Liam Lyons at shortstop, Matthew Magnati in left field, Enrico Tofano at third base, Thomas Pietrowski at DH, Tristan Perry at first base, Josh Purr in right field, and Peyton Gardner at second base, with the starter being John Schweitzer. As the umpires convene among the first base line, as George Geiss's Mountie from Hawks will face off against Christian. Oh boy, somebody didn't write down with a very legible handwriting on the starting lineup. Christian Korbeek with the Cherry Hill American. You know, this is a part of broadcasting that I miss during the summer. It's the dog days of summer, and I don't get a whole lot of broadcasting opportunities during this time of the year. I'm usually sitting at home, not getting a lot of sleep, and really waiting for the fall season. So this opportunity that I've gotten from George is really one that I am very grateful for, and I thank Mr. Geiss for letting me do these sectionals games. As here comes up Jack Mondell, the center fielder, as at least he'll get ready, as we are at 6:09 local time in the New Jersey Section 4 sectional round. The Cherry Hill American and the Mountie from Hawks on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. So here is Mondell, the center fielder. So the home plate umpire approaches home. He faces behind Matt Malinowski, and the Cherry Hill American dugout gets riled up as they get set for the first pitch. Mondell versus Nopka. This is the slowest start to the game that I've seen. It looks like Malinowski and the home plate umpire are having a discussion, possibly over a rules check. And now, after what seemed like an eternity, it will be Jack Mondell stepping into the box for the Cherry Hill American in the patriotic red, white, and blue jerseys and the white pants. The first pitch is going to beat him in the back. Well, that was fast, wasn't it? This will bring up Zach Salisbury, the catcher. On the changeup there from Nopka, got him right in the back. Mondell didn't even really seem fazed about it, but as is the deal with those kind of hit-by pitches. So Salisbury is up. After that will be Liam Lyons. After a pickoff move to first, Hunter Lowe at first base, a very good friend of mine, which is why I'm extra grateful to do these broadcasts for Mount Ephraim, because there are actual friends of mine that are on this team, and Here he goes running down to second base. He is safe as the throw gets cut off at short after it got past Monaferrani. Cut off by starting Triton shortstop, Zach Foster. I haven't gotten a chance to broadcast a game against Triton yet. Last time Audubon played them was 2019, so it has, needless to say, been a little while. But it is 1-0 to Salisbury, as that one is a strike right down Broadway. It's 1-1. As we said before this game started, AJ Nopka on the JV team for Audubon will be going into his sophomore year in 2022-23. Big lead off a second as there's a line drive right to Monaferrani. Does he get the bag? He does not. A very close play at second, but this will bring up Liam Lyons, the starting shortstop. So Mondell will get to live another batter as Monaferrani had a very close play at second, but he was able to get back in time. First pitch to Lyons is a swing and a pop-up out to right. This one is going to fall for a base hit, and it is going to get past the right fielder. This one will bring in Mondell, and it is 1-0 Cherry Hill. They're going to throw it in. Going to third will be Lyons. He trails off of third as the throw finally gets in. From the right fielder, number 2, that would be, who would that be out there? That would, I don't even have a number 2 on there. Oh, it'll be, gotcha. All right, cool. My bad. They just didn't have the right defensive alignments. I guess they have the right lineup, but different defensive alignments, as that one is outside. To the cleanup lefty for the Cherry Hill American, Matthew Mignati, number 33. Big fella from the left side. Yeah, that would be Dominic Frankowski, the right fielder, as there's a ground ball out to low, and it goes right under the 5-hole, right under his glove into right field, and it is 2-0 Cherry Hill. Well, that's not the start that you want for Mount Ephraim. 2 miscues right in a row, and just like that, it's 2-0 Cherry Hill. As here is the third baseman, Enrico Tofano, number 13. As the home plate, the base umpire, meeting with Nopka. Something up with his non-throwing hand, it looks like. I think he was trying to adjust the compression bands on the wrist of his left arm. But here is Enrico Tofano, runner on first. Lowe holding at the bag. The first pitch is outside, 1-0. The first 3 hitters due up for Mount Ephraim will be Monaferrani, Hoff, and Malinowski. One-0 pitch. He's going as that one is a little looper out towards short. Foster has it. Throw to first is a little off camera, but it is in time for the second out. This brings up Thomas Piotrowski. If you're just joining us, Cherry Hill off to a good start, 2-0 here in the Section 4 Sectionals, broadcast exclusively on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. If you have any questions or comments about today's broadcast, or if you're interested in a sponsorship inquiry, please drop me a line at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. Serious inquiries only. I try to read the emails whenever I can, as there is a strike. It is 0-1. To number 00. That's a number that's not really appreciated as much in baseball. 00, usually worn by mascots in baseball, but that's a pop-up that will go foul into the grandstands, and it will bounce out of the grandstands on a hop. It's 0-2 to Piotrowski. I think the last Philly to wear number 00 might have been J.D. Durbin back when he played in 07. There's a fly ball center field. And that'll be a can of corn for Chase Hoff. Side is retired. But Cherry Hill does bring 2 runs home, especially on an RBI single and triple in the first couple batters of the inning. So George Geis will meet with his team as they get ready to bat. 2-0 American. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Amato Brothers, 612 White Horse Pike. All the great food and service you need, all for a great price. Over a dozen beers on tap. Closed Mondays and Tuesdays. Check them out. Everything that you need to one-stop shop for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They got it all at Amato Brothers, all for some great quality as well. 612 South White Horse Pike, as I said before, closed Mondays and Tuesdays. So I guess they'll be open tomorrow, so you can celebrate your post-July 4th weekend. But we thank the Amato Brothers and their family for supporting Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, as Rocco Monaferrani will be the first batter. I remember back in 2019 when I first broadcasted for the Oakland Cougars, he was even littler, like 12 years old, and he was the running back for the Cougars in the 115-pound division, and he was a force to be reckoned with. But there is a ground ball, and there is that force to be reckoned with as the first pitch is a ground ball base hit to center field. He trails off of first a little bit, but retreats, and the Hawks have a runner on first to lead off the inning. As now here is Chase Hoff.
Yeah, no matter what he's playing, he has a powerful punch.
Yeah, I will agree. He's a very talented multi-sport athlete, and it definitely shows in his quality of play as he throws back to first. Nothing doing. I gotta readjust the camera here. Didn't exactly stay tight on. Keep on throwing back to first. Nothing really doing. They're gonna throw back again for a third time. Hoff hasn't even gotten a pitch to him yet. Runner on first, no away. And first pitch to Hoff is outside, 1-0. Decent amount of fans, although some of them are bringing lawn chairs and sitting on beach towels as a system of rain kept on coming through about a half hour before first pitch, and even persisted as why we started about 10 minutes late, as that one is caught by the Cherry Hill shortstop Lions, and there is one away. This brings up Matt Malinowski of Collingswood. I have gotten the opportunity to call for Malinowski when I did Audubon High School wrestling last year. When Collingswood came to town, I was on the PA system, and it was a great thing to introduce Malinowski. We were teammates a couple of years back in the junior league system, as the first pitch is a strike or not. Okay, 1-0. Wasn't called a strike, as that one is outside, 2-0. 2-0 count, one away. The speedy Monaferrani is on first base. As there's a fly ball left center field, and this one is going to fall in between the shortstop and center field. Monaferrani will be held up at second, and he is in there. A solid slapper base hit to left center from Malinowski. And now here is Zach Foster, possibly the most intriguing hitter that I have never seen play yet. I don't even think I've met the kid, but he is the starting shortstop for Triton High School, the Triton Mustangs. So maybe if Audubon plays Triton in the next couple of years, I'll have an opportunity to call for him again. But he stands with 2 runners on and 1 away. First pitch to him is in the dirt, and it skips away from the catcher. And Rocco had a pretty big jump, but eventually retreated. So it is 1-0. Just got past Salisbury, but for John Schweitzer, he's kind of put himself in a jam that I didn't really expect. But the 1-0 is inside as Foster bends backwards to avoid that pitch, and it's 2-0. I mean, that's why this kid bats cleanup, because he's got that intrigue to him, being the starting shortstop for Triton, which isn't a bad baseball club, as that one is fouled off of the catcher's gear of Salisbury, and it is 2-1. I mean, Triton's not a bad school. They've finished over 500 in the last couple of years, and they've been a respectable ball club. If I'm not mistaken, they are in the Tri-County Conference, but I haven't gotten an opportunity to call them or many other Tri-County schools. We were supposed to have a matchup versus Glassboro to close out the regular season, but that's how we got our third regular season game against West Deptford, because Glassboro had to cancel due to state testing. Rocco with a pretty big lead off of second base. Same can be said for Malinowski, but neither of the infielders are holding them at the bag, as that one is down low, 3-1. Diggy Hoff on deck, number 32 for the Mount Ephraim Hawks. Schweitzer looking to get back into a groove, and he does so with a breaking ball that eclipses the zone, and it's a 3-2 full count. He needed that good pitch there. He needed a very good pitch to get back into it, because if you have a walk and load the bases for a guy like Diggy and the ability that he has to smack the ball, you really don't want to play with that kind of fire. But he will do so anyway, as that is a breaking ball inside for ball 4, and this brings up Diggy Hoff. Now, his name by birth is Dylan Hoff, but everybody calls him Diggy. Do I know why? No. We have no idea why. I'm sure there's some story behind it, but ever since I first met this kid, he's the younger brother of Chase Hoff, but considering his build compared to Chase's, he looks like an older brother. But he's going into his freshman year this year for Audubon High, so hopefully we can see him play baseball for Audubon. Maybe he'll be on the junior varsity team, as you can even see his jersey, number 32, says Diggy on it. That's great. You know, I was talking with George the other day, you know, once we had scheduled our sectionals games, and he said that the kids, you know, some of the kids told them to keep the hats until it was game day because they liked the hats and the jersey so much that they thought they were either going to lose them or use them so much that they were going to get worn out. They were really a fan of the kind of uniforms that they had gotten for this year, and it seems like George treated them well. But the 2-0. That one is a strike on the outside corner. 2-1. Bases loaded, one away. Mount Ephraim looking for a huge chance to score here. Monteferrani on third, Malinowski on second, and Foster on first, and a heavy hack. Now he's got to go back to the base, but he is safe. It's 2-2. That was risky there, because Monteferrani didn't exactly go back to third right away. So if you're going to be playing with that kind of fire, then you really have to be on your high horse for a speedy guy like Monteferrani. Hunter Lowe on deck. 2-2. Fastball, strike 3 on the outside corner. With some complaints from fans, but nonetheless, there's 2 away, and here's Hunter Lowe. Hunter Lowe also played for the JV team for Audubon, so I didn't really get a chance to announce for him this year, but Hunter is actually the person that got me into baseball, at least in a larger picture, as that one is outside, 1-0. I remember back 7 years ago in 2015, he brought over a box of baseball cards and a Michael Jordan lunchbox from the Topps collections from the past couple of years, and you know, I was fascinated by them. And over the next year or so, I had really propelled my interest in baseball. I bought MLB The Show for the first time on the PlayStation 4. As that one is a ball, it's 2-0. But, you know, me and Hunter, we've gone back probably to about elementary school in 3rd, 4th grade, and I give him the credit for, at least in some way, for really propelling my interest in baseball by bringing that box of baseball cards and the Michael Jordan lunchbox. That's a strike. It's 2-1. Besides baseball cards or anything like that, Lowe does have a pretty relaxed approach to the plate. I'd say if there's anything that kind of held him back this year was that his bat speed is pretty slow, which kind of can decrease your exit velocity as Schweitzer steps off, as I think that Liam was trying to signal back to second to get Malinowski, but nothing really to it. It's 2-1. Bases loaded. It would be a real shame if Mount Ephraim did not score here, because this is a huge opportunity, and that is up and in, 3-1. Even if you don't get a hit, then if you walk in a run, then that would at least be somewhat beneficial. Next up would be the starting pitcher, A.J. Nopka. Another guy that's just like Rocco Manfroni. Skinny build, not exactly that tall, but has a lot of speed to him. The 3-1, that is a strike right down Broadway, 3-2. Big pitch for Schweitzer here. Bases loaded, 2 down in a 2-0 Cherry Hill American League. You know that Cherry Hill can hit, but can they pitch and play defense? The 3-2 is a swing and a line drive. That's going to be huge. A base hit that's going to bring in 1. It's going to bring in Malinowski, and just like that, on the brink of a scoreless inning, we are tied up at 2. Excuse me, the camera got a little bit discombobulated, but here's A.J. Nopka. There we go. I don't know why it did that. We do have a little bit of a broken leg on the camera. It's held up with a Velcro and a zip tie, but the good thing about a broadcast on wheels is that you got a MacGyver a lot of the time. But there's a ground ball out to second base. Flip to second is in time, but Mount Ephraim does not go down without a fight. They tie the game on a 2-run base hit from Hunter Lowe. As everybody retreats back to their dugouts, we've played 1, got a couple more to go, going to the second 2-2 game. A.J. Nopka prepared for his second inning as we get a good view of the Philadelphia skyline from the trees of Union Field. This broadcast is brought to you in part by my own show, The Dan Wilkins Show. We return next week with episode 12, a new age, a new era, and a new format as we interview Colby Evans, a part-time pit crew member and media member for NASCAR and ARCA. In our 1-hour, 45-minute interview, we go over all the hot-button issues in the world of motorsports and also his personal stories from working with the likes of Carl Long, Timmy Hill, and other famous NASCAR car owners and drivers. It's a very insightful interview, and I hope that you all give it a chance to listen. It comes out next week on anywhere where you listen to podcasts. First pitch from A.J. Nopka is well outside to Tristan Perry, the first baseman, as Malinowski had to really come out of his crouch to get that baseball, as it's 1-0 to Perry. The 1-0 is a ball. It'll be Perry, Josh Purr, and Peyton Gardner, the 7, 8, and 9 hole hitters for Cherry Hill, as the 2-0. That one is a ball, 3-0. I don't usually question the officiating, but it does seem like there are some close calls that just are not going either team's way. It's a very tight strike zone, and that will be a ball 4. So this brings up Josh Purr, the right fielder, number 12. I do find it fitting that we're calling a game with the Cherry Hill American just after July 4th weekend. Hope all of you had a great July 4th. I did myself. I took about 15 minutes to get the sauerkraut jar open for my hot dogs, as the first pitch to Purr is outside, 1-0. Like I said, this is a very tight strike zone. I think there are some cases where there are some borderline pitches that just have not been in the favor of Mount Ephraim. That one is, though, and it is 1-1. Due up for Mount Ephraim in the bottom of the second will be Aiden Lehan, Dominic Barnetto, and back to the top of the order with Rocco Monaferrani. The 1-1 is a line shot into right field, a base hit, and it gets right under Lehan. Here comes Perry around third. He will try to score, and he will do so with ease, but he is not stopping. It'll be an RBI triple for Josh Purr, and it is 3-2. That's the second huge defensive miscue from Aiden Lehan there. That is not what you want to see. But it is 3-2, Cherry Hill. Keep in mind that even though this is the first sectional game, this is double elimination. So Mount Ephraim will play tomorrow. Same time. Not sure about same place. I still got to ask George about that, but that one is up and into Peyton Gardner, and it is 1-0. Jack Mondell will be on deck for Cherry Hill, going back to the top of the order for the American. Inside, right at his elbow, 2-0. Seems like the rain has passed through, so I'm glad I made the trip out here to cover the game, even if we are not in our usual spot. The last time we broadcasted for Audubon in West Deptford, we were right at the end of that sign where the West Deptford logo is. Popped up out of our view, but Hunter Lowe is there to make the basket catch, 1 away. I might have to move the camera in between innings, but we will cross that bridge when we get there. Here is Jack Mondell. He was hit by a pitch on the very first pitch of the game, so he'll now look for his first official at-bat as the first pitch is outside in the other batter's box. Good frame by Malinowski, but that really isn't going to get you very far. It's 1-0. The 1-0. That one hit him. He is the baseball magnet. He's just like Josh Harrison. He gets hit by the baseball a lot. It has nothing to do with his batting stance. It just seems like that's the nature of the game. But he is 0 for 0 at the official box score, and he is 2 for 2 in hit by pitches. Here is Zach Salisbury. Runner on third and first with 1 away. Nopka steps off prior to the first pitch. It's a steamy night here in West Deptford at Union Field. Even though it is 73 degrees, the humidity is off the charts, and it has dropped a lot since the start of the game. It was about 88 when I left the house at around 4:30, but in the ensuing 2 hours since then, it has dropped a lot. Oh, he showed bunt. Now he's going to run down to second base. But Foster wasn't even at the bag because he was more worried about Tristan Perry breaking from third and heading for home. So there will be runners on second and third with 1 away, with a 0-1 count to Salisbury. That one is inside. That one almost hit him. It's 1-1. There's a high fly ball to left, and that one is down. It's going to roll all the way to the Eastern Regional Champion sign out and left out at the 322. 2 runs do score. And I just messed up something with the camera. Hold up. There we go. My bad. All right, it is going to be a 2-run double for Jack Salisbury, and it is 5-2. That's my bad. Here's Liam Lyons. That one is a ball. One-0. That one is inside. Malinowski, he almost let that one hit him, but he hunched over to avoid the ball hitting him, and Malinowski caught it above his back. It's 2-0. That one is foul down the third base line. I will say how West Stepford has done their ballpark is very impressive. It feels very professionalized and not amateur. I feel like there are some ballparks that almost feel like you're playing at a park, at a community park, but this one's a lot different. Concrete grandstands, easy places to sit and walk. It reminds me a lot of the University of Delaware ballpark that I visited in March, as there is a line drive into right center field, a base hit. They're going to send him home. Cut off by Lowe. This one's going to be a tough play, but it's over Malinowski's head. Salisbury scores, now heading to third, and he is safe there. Well, that's just not what you want to see. An RBI triple for Liam Lyons, and it is 6-3, or 6-2 rather. And the scoreboard reads you right. 3 errors in 2 innings, even 1 and a third innings for Mount Ephraim. But that's kind of the name of their game. They do hit well, that is true. But I think their defense is really something that you just got to keep an eye on. As throw back to third, he threw behind the runner, but just nothing going on there. Believe it's 0-1. I'm not sure. Scoreboard's not reading anything. As there's a ground ball. Oh, that one went right under the glove of Manafarani. That'll be a 4th error, and it is 7-2. Here is Matthew Magnotti. I was really hopeful when there was that 2-run hit, as now George will meet with A.J. Nopka and probably pull him here. I would imagine so. So we'll see what they do here. Entire infield meeting up, and I would imagine that he's just meeting with him to bring his confidence up or something, because down by 5 runs already, and you've given up 7 with not really any of those earned runs being his fault. The defense hasn't really had his back. This is a great view, great shot. As some of the clouds and haze are overtaking the Philadelphia skyline, as you can see in the background there. Was a lot less clear than I pointed at it 10 minutes ago, but that's still pretty cool that I can see the skyline from over there. Just a testament to how close we are to the Delaware River, because we are not that far at all. We are less than a mile from the Delaware River, which would be right across from where I'm pointing to Center City and the Philadelphia International Airport. So it's actually a lot closer here than it is in Audubon. But here is Enrico Tofano with 1 away, runner on first. Maybe a reset mind for Nopka. The 0-1 pitch is a ball, 1-1. Seven to 2. The Cherry Hill American leading the Mount Ephraim Hawks. 4 errors, as there's a high fly ball left center field. Who's got it? Hoff has it. 2 down. I think the outfield is pretty good on fly balls, but those ground balls that can take a tough hop, especially on a somewhat uneven surface sometimes, you know, the grass can be rough over time, especially if it's rained recently, and it can really hamper your ability to field the ball cleanly. But here's Thomas Piotrowski. There's a high fly ball to left, and that ball is caught out there, and the side is retired. We go to the bottom of the second. 7-2, Cherry Hill.
Tom I didn't have.
It's 2-2 to Aiden Lehan. Bottom of the second inning. Cherry Hill leads 7-2 as that one is fouled back to the chain link fence. Two-two pitch. That one is outside, 3-2. Cherry Hill put up 5 runs in the top of the second. They lead 7-2. Swing and a miss. Here's Dominic Bagnato. I finally figured out the whole jersey debacle because I didn't know how to pronounce his name, but didn't realize that was a G on the lineup card, so it's Bagnato. First pitch, strike, 0-1. The 0-1. That is a strike. He steps out a little bit, and 0-2. Well, if there's one thing you don't want Schweitzer getting into a rhythm, because then you're not going to be able to mount a comeback as strong as you would like. That one is outside, 1-2. Bagnato almost walked back to the dugout because he thought he misheard the umpire. One, two. Outside, 2-2. Top of the order due up next, the 2-2. Swing and a miss. A very half-hearted swing, but the ball will go around a diamond again. Second strikeout of the inning for Schweitzer, and this brings up Monaferrani. He had a first pitch base hit back in the first, which started a 2-run inning, although it did load the bases and took until the last possible pitch, the 3-2. Yeah, I felt like Rocky going up those stairs. I don't know if my face got in the camera at all, but it didn't. Okay, because I was running up those stairs because I didn't realize the inning had already started. So, such is the life of a broadcast on wheels. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1. I mean, hey, I got to get my steps in somehow. Guess that's how it works. Although West Stepford does live stream all of their high school games, so that game where Audubon went to Union Field was really the only game where I couldn't say this game was exclusively broadcast on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. I do also try to avoid that term when we play Sterling, because they do sometimes bring their camera crew out, but they didn't do it for any of their baseball games that they played us in this year, the 2-1. That is a ball, 3-1. If there's one thing that Mount Ephraim needs is plate discipline, because if you take enough times, he's going to mess up eventually. So if you just keep your bat on your shoulders until you know you have the right pitch, like that one, but it is caught at first, inning over. We'll take a quick break. We go to the top of the third. We're going to adjust this camera, so excuse the shakiness. It's 7-2. American. Going to the top of the third, Diggy Hoff coming in for A.J. Nopka. Nopka gave up 7 runs. Only a couple of them earned, though, as now coming into left field will be another good friend of mine. Peyton Irwin is coming into left field for the Hawks. You can see him out there. This is his first year playing baseball as a, organized thing, so very happy for him to have this opportunity, and I'm happy that I have the opportunity to call him and to call this game. So Diggy Hoff comes in. This broadcast is brought to you in part by the Quick Pit Podcast, run by my good friends Nate and Connor out of their studio in central Pennsylvania. It's the one-stop shop for everything in the world of motorsports, from NASCAR to F1. Of course, in NASCAR with Road America last weekend in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, as Tyler Reddick of Richard Childress Racing brought home his first win in his 3-year NASCAR Cup Series career. NASCAR then goes to Atlanta as the Truck Series goes out to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, but the now deformed Super Speedway in Hampton, Georgia will be home to the Quaker State 400 next Sunday on NBC. The first pitch to Tristan Perry is a strike on the inside corner. 0-1. I had to get clarification real quick. That is a strike, 0-2. But yeah, this now means that 2022 has surpassed 2011 for most first-time winners in a season in the Cup Series, which is very nice. 0-2, swinging a ground ball up the line, and it is off of low. It flips back to him, and the throw sails over his head. It was a very unusual play, and now it goes back to Malinowski as a comedy of errors has ensued on this field. And Perry gets to second base. That is pretty sloppy right there. It bounced off of low, went right in the glove of Montefrani.
Warren! Hold on for a second.
Time is called by the booth. Got very lucky on the rain. The rain has broken up from our Weather Channel forecast. So Josh Purr will be the batter. Time is called because of some sort of sartorial clarification. See, they don't have the usual speaker set that West Effort usually uses, so they're using walkie-talkie ham radios to talk to the coaches. It's all on one network as Purr calls time. It is 0-1, or 1-2 rather, or 1-0. No. Excuse me, sorry, it's 1-0. I got mixed up with the scoreboard. That's a swing and a miss, an unceremonious swing from Purr, and it is 1-1. One and one to Purr. Due up is Peyton Gardner. That one is upstairs straight away, 2-1. I would hope that Irwin would bat at some point. Two and one. That one skips away from Malinowski, and going to third will be Perry. He's going to lead off of third but hold there, as that will be a passed ball. Keep in mind that on the scoreboard right here, I think that the number in the bottom right corner explains a lot. 6 errors. Keep in mind that this is not a high school organization. This is, as George puts it, these guys are playing for fun. But at the same time, in sectionals play, Cherry Hill's not playing for fun. They're playing for a title. And I think there are some teams that take it more seriously than others. As here will be Peyton Gardner, number 22. Runners on third and first. Nobody out. First pitch to the right-hander Gardner. No. Hoff throws over to first. Nothing doing. But yeah, there are a lot of teams that treat this senior league like it's a... Oh, here we go. Runner going. That one's inside. Throw down to second is cut off by Foster. He wouldn't have gotten him anyway, but he wanted to make sure that Perry didn't trail off of third. So runners on second and third. That one skips away from him. Perry's going to come to the plate. And now he will trail away. So it's 2-0 to Gardner. Runners hold where they are. Off is set. Stares down Malinowski. And he kicks and deals. That one is upstairs, 3-0. And now if you load the bases, you get Jack Mondell, who's been plunked both times that he's come up to the plate today. So obviously there's a lot to be had with how things are addressed on Mount Ephraim's side, because if you lose today, you play tomorrow. As that one is a ball inside. I thought he might get green lighted, but he did not. Like I said, the umpire holds a very tight zone, and he's not going to break from that. So here is Jack Mondell, who's probably going to have a little bit of a sore back after today, as he's been hit by a pitch twice. Both on the first pitch. It's the equivalent of an intentional walk. That one's upstairs. It's 1-0. Just on one pitch, really. One and 0 to Mondell. Strike one. That's the first strike that Mondell has taken all day, because before he was able to take a strike, before then he got hit by a pitch. So, and with the bases loaded, a plunk here would bring in a run. Wouldn't be kind of harmless like it was before, but now there's actual stakes on the line. It's 1-2 as he fouls that one back. As some planes fly overhead, they're destined for PHL. A great view here from Union Field, destined right behind home plate, and there's 3 for 3. And I agree with the parents to some extent that I think that he may have leaned into that one. But here is Salisbury. I don't know. I think he did lean in a little bit, but we've seen that a couple of times where a leaned-in HBP is not really called, but it really depends on the umpire and his discretion whether he thinks that he leaned into it or not. You know, we don't have the MyTel replay review like they do in the MLB. This is a lot different. I'm just pointing a camera at home plate and saying what I see. There's a ground ball up the line. That will bring home a run. He's going to throw it to the plate. He is out there. Josh Purr is making a point that he had an obstructed view to the plate, but he's not going to contest it any further because here is Lyons. I think his point was that the bat was left in between third and home, so therefore he had an obstructed pathway. But you're up by 8-2. Don't sweat it any further. Good frame job by Malinowski, but nothing doing. It's 1-0. 1 out, 2 runners on, 8-2. Cherry Hill American leads the Mount Ephraim Hawks. That one skips away, got blocked by the shin guards, and very conservatively they hold up. Bases loaded, 1 away, 8-2. Diggy Hoff trying to face the middle of the order in a very high-stakes situation. Well, maybe not that high stakes, down by 6, but it's 3-0. I will say there have been some very close pitches that have just not gotten the way of Mount Ephraim or Cherry Hill for that matter. This has been a very close and up close and personal zone. That one is a strike. You basically have to pinpoint it right down the middle to a atomic extent or else this is going to be called a ball. I mean, it just feels like there's a lot more walks than there should be. Now, that is justified. It brings in a run, but that was well inside. So that I can't argue with. It is 9-2. And now not West Deptford. Cherry Hill has as many hits as they do runs. Time is called. And I believe they're going to make their third pitching change as George Geis lingers his way out to the pitching mound as the infield meets up. The outfield meets up in their own cliques. And we will see Hunter Lowe is swapping gloves with... Oh boy, are we... Oh, God. Oh, boy. Last time I saw Hunter pitch, I got drilled in the back, so... I'm just making fun. If these were people that I didn't know, I wouldn't be having as much fun as I did, or as I am. But we have a pitching change. Hunter Lowe is the new pitcher, and I believe Diggy Hoff will move to first base. He'll take the ball from... We'll be right back after this. 9-2. Cherry Hill American, they lead in the third. Here is Matthew Mignotti, bases loaded, one away. Cherry Hill leads 9-2 over Mount Ephraim as Hunter Lowe, number 44, takes the first pitch, and that is a line drive to right, a base hit. 1 run scores, 2 runs are going to come around. Manafarani holds his throw. It'll be an RBI single for Mignotti, and it is 11-2. We're getting confirmation on what a potential mercy rule might be, because this is, needless to say, not a pretty ball game. Thank you. Your name's Debbie, right? Yes, okay. Debbie brought us some zucchini bread, so I am, in between innings, going to scarf that down. Runners on first and third with 1 away, as this brings up Enrico Tufano. Popped up first base side, just on top of the Cherry Hill dugout. Is this homemade zucchini bread? Oh. Might have to hire you for my next party. This is real good.
It was fall summer, softball camp got canceled today, and I was bored.
So you just made zucchini bread, yeah. Got nothing else to do on the day after July 4th? First pitch to Enrico Tufano. No, he's going to throw back to third. 11-2, Cherry Hill leads Mount Ephraim with a runner on first, a runner on third, and a very good zucchini bread. Popped up, way up in the air. This one's going to go in the FAA orbit, and it is caught at third by Foster. And there is 2 down. This brings up Thomas Piotrowski. Throwback to the third does nothing, and it is 1-0. to Piotrowski.
What?
2-0.
Yeah, okay.
That one is a line shot into center field, a base hit. 12-2. Well, this wasn't exactly as fun of a ball game as I had been expecting, but well, how about this? The Cherry Hill third base coach is making a substitution over the radio. Runners on first and second, 2 down. And here's a substitute for Cherry Hill. This would be Anthony Gucciardi.
You want to start filling out this while I'm going to give you two, one for you'll play at least 2 games.
Right.
So if you want to fill out one out real quick.
Wish we had that in the big leagues where you could just communicate substitutions over the radio like you're... Although that's a clever way of doing it. Instead of having to yell up to the box, just talking to your walkie-talkie. Anyone's 1-0. I know that... I believe it's one of my uncles really into to ham radio. And that's something that I've looked at over the years. There's the Audubon Ham Radio Club. As that one gets back to the backstop again, it'll be a passed ball. 2-0 to Gucciardi. Although in a 12-2 game in the third inning, you have time for segments on Zucchini Bread and Ham Radio, so really a free-for-all, but hopefully the weather looks better for tomorrow than it does for today, because I don't want to be showered in rain 2 days in a row, but that is the stereotype of summer, that there's a lot of rain, especially in New Jersey where you experience all 4 seasons in one day. The 3-0 to Gucciardi is inside ball 4, bases loaded. And now this will be Ryan Shawlins. So Ryan Shawlins will grab a bat.
And we should use the batting papers?
Yes. Don't know about that. There's a guy that
Fly ball foul.
I would ask him.
0-1. Oh, 0-1 from Lowe to Shawlins is outside. And it goes back to the backstop. Malinowski didn't know where it was. It's 1-1.
Crowd knew where it was.
Yeah, crowd definitely knew where it was, but 1-1 to Ryan Shawlins. I think Malinowski's dad heard what I had said. I got to be careful now that he's in my vicinity. There's a ground ball, third base side, out to short, and it goes into left field. 1 run scores. The throw takes forever to come in from left, and it is 14-2. So Peyton Gardner. No, it will not be Gardner. Okay, so another substitution. This is now Aiden Haddock, number 25. And they're also signaling for Ryan Nadio to grab a bat, so he will probably bat in the place of Jack Mondell, who is the baseball magnet with 3 hit by pitches today. That one is inside. That one almost hit him, and the throw sails over Foster. The run scores, and it is 15-2. Oh, boy. They didn't even really need to make that aggressive of a throw down. Hold on, let me point this camera here. The Gas House Gorillas. That's how it feels right now.
Lauren, what's the count?
The Gas House Gorillas. I'll have to ask my dad what year that cartoon is from, because he is the cartoon expert, as that one is framed but called a ball 2-0. We gotta look up when the Gas House Gorillas cartoon was made. I'll look it up on my phone. The first inning was entertaining. It was 2-2. What happened? 7 errors happened.
They made like 15 or 30 changes.
1946 was when the Gas House Gorillas got into their existence. As there is a crying baby that's crying over the 15-2 score, probably. I mean, George does this really all for fun. He plays seriously, but he also plays in a manner and manages in a manner that is very relaxed, because he just wants his kids to have fun. And that was the impression that I got in my 15 minutes of practice before I blew out my knee. But it's 3-2. Full count, 2 down. Can we be released from the purgatory of the third inning? Possibly. There's a fly ball to left center. And we are free. 15-2. The Gas House Gorillas are in town. We go to the bottom of the third. This broadcast is brought to you in part by the lost my thing there. By the good folks at Crafty Couture Studio, as first pitch to Chase Hoff as a strike. I completely blanked out. It's a 15-2 game, so I blanked out. But Crafty Couture Studio, the DIY on Merchant Street, all the Audubon swag and everything else in terms of DIY crafts. You can even have private lessons there. Contact them on Facebook for more information. As it's 0-2 to Hoff. And that was a bad swing. Over to first in time, one away, and here is Matt Malinowski. First pitch to Malinowski is down low, 1-0. Ground ball up the line. That's a foul ball, 1-1. Cherry Hill, 15 runs on 12 hits, no errors for Mount Ephraim. 2 runs on 3 hits and 7 errors. That one is a check swing, and it is 1-2. One, two. That's a sharp grounder for out to Lions. Out. 2 down. Here's Zach Foster. Good play out there by Lions. Swing and a miss. 0-1. That one is a bad pitch, but luckily Foster holds up. It's 1-1. Two and one. Fly ball left field. And it is caught by Magnotti. Inning over. We go to the 4th inning. Oh boy, 15-2, Cherry Hill American. Top of the 4th inning, we just got confirmation that for the mercy rule, there needs to be a 15-run lead after 4 innings or 10-run lead after 5. So if you do the math, if Cherry Hill scores 2 more runs in this inning, and then Mount Ephraim does not counter that, then we will be going home quite early tonight. First pitch is upstairs to Nadeo, Ryan Nadeo. One 0. Down low 2-0. Strike 1.
Correct. So they DH with it.
Now, someone else.
3-1.
52. Right spot.
Yeah. So this should open. Wait. So it's 52 pitching now?
Yes.
Is he hit?
Ball 4. Oh,
So they drop
okay. I'll take it. 3-2. 3-2 pitch to Nadeo. Is that one ball 4? And it is. Here's Zach Salisbury. First pitch. Outside. No, strike 1. Popped up. That one is foul. Lane's right in front of the grandstands. Still in play. It's 0-2 with a runner on first and nobody out. 15-2. Cherry Hill American. There's a ground ball to third. Picked up by Foster. He spins and fires, and it is not in time. And the ball is booted at first by Hoff. Here's Liam Lyons batting another time. So runners on first and second base. As the sun is starting to peek through here at about 7:30, that one is fouled back at home plate. The 0-1 pitch. That one is foul over the grandstands. Going to throw back to second base. Nothing going on there. Still 0-2 to Lions. Line shot, right center field, a base hit. This one's going to be more than a base hit. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. A run is in, and the 15-run threshold will be right here as that'll make it 17-2. My bad, the camera wasn't at home plate. So here will be Magnotti. And George might make one last pitching change as he talks into the radio. Here is Magnotti, the left-hander, facing Zach Foster, the right-hander, in a 17-2 game as the sun is poking out, and that one is outside, 1-0. So the line of pitchers for Mount Ephraim has been Nopka, Diggy Hoff, Hunter Lowe, and now Zach Foster. Shockingly, through 17 runs, this is only their fourth pitcher that they've used. Probably because they know, since this is double elimination, that they, even in a blowout, still have to save their best arms. So you might be saving Hoff or, Malinowski or Lehan or any of those guys. Three and 1 to Michael Magnotti. After this will be Enrico Tufano. Yes. Took me a couple tries. Outside. Ball 4. There has to be some breaking point. I mean, if there is any silver lining, as Tufano comes up to the plate, there is a 2-hour time limit. So if the game started at 6:10, this game has to be over in the next 40 minutes. But with how the offense is looking for Cherry Hill, they're just running up the score, really. And this is one of the cases where I don't blame a team for running up the score, as that's ball 1, because if you run up the score, then you get to go home earlier and you get to save your best arms. And Major League Baseball, where there is no mercy rule, yeah, maybe there is a case for not. That one goes behind him, and the run will come to the plate, and it will score. 18-2.
It's not like they're, stealing or trying to bunt or trying to add it that way. They're just playing the ball.
Yeah, and Mount Ephraim's giving them it. I mean, the scoreboard in the top left corner of your screen really says it all. It's 2-0 to Tufano, with a runner on second, as that one is outside, 3-0. I mean, a lot of the fans that were here have either dropped out or not really been paying attention to the game, and I don't blame him. There's not a lot of eyes that are glued onto the field right now. That's ball 4. And here is number 52, Mick Goldstein, the hitter. Two runners on, nobody out, and it's 18-2. First pitch from Foster to Goldstein is down and away, 1-0. That one's way outside. Phillies are leading 1-0 versus the Washington Nationals. Kyle Schwarber hit a leadoff home run to center field. As that one is 3-0. I think I'd rather be calling the Phillies game right now. I mean, I think anybody would, but yikes. Rough day? Yeah, I'd say so. That's 4-pitch. Yeah, 4-pitch walk to Goldstein. But I think this is also a glaring issue in youth sports, because there is such a disparity between the good teams and the bad teams that in something like this, in sectionals, there's not enough. There wasn't even enough senior league teams to make a district tournament. You go straight to sectionals in senior league. At least here you do. So it just, that's deep to left. Irwin can't get there. It's going to take 2 hops off the wall. 1 run scores, 2 runs score. He gets it into the infield pretty quickly, and now you can bring 2 more runs on the board. It's 20-2. Yeah, they just need the extra point, and they'll have 3 touchdowns. It'll be Shawlins that comes to the plate. I mean, we've had this broadcast running for just over an hour and a half, and we're in the 4th inning. If there was no mercy rule, we'd probably be here for like 3 hours, if I'm being honest with you. Ground ball off the mound in the center field. There's your extra point. There goes in a run to score. Another one's going to come around, 22-2. That's a 20-run lead. Runner on first. Nobody out. Oh, goodness. Here's number 25, Aiden Haddock. First pitch outside, 1-0.
Can we call up Bugs Bunny?
What's that?
Can we call up Bugs Bunny?
I mean, I'm not cleared yet, but maybe I could throw on a uniform. Give him some fastballs. I've been practicing a little. There's a strike on the inside corner. Popped up. Shortstop. Makes the catch. Throw back. He stepped off the bag, but he wasn't able to apply the tag in time, so he races back to first, and there's the first out. Brings up Salisbury again. Or rather, not Salisbury, excuse me. There's Ryan Nadeo. Ground ball. Could this be? Why didn't he throw to second? Okay. He either forgot how many outs there were or didn't want to try to force a double play ball. So that'll be a fielder's choice to first base, and there is, by some miracle, 2 outs in a row. And keep in mind that I'm not broadcasting for Cherry Hill. I was asked by the players of Mount Ephraim to call this game, and honestly, this is crazy. But like I said, there is a big disparity between the good and the bad in youth sports. And there are not a lot of close games like this, or not like this, you know what I mean. There are not a lot of close games in general in a lot of youth sports. If these are high school, if this is a high school organization like Audubon versus West Stepford or something, then you have a lot closer games because there are a lot more players on an even keel. But when you have the privately run organizations that aren't a part of a public school or something like that, then, you know, you have more players being stacked from other towns, and it really creates a conundrum that doesn't benefit the consumer or the coach or the player or anybody. And that's how you get 22-2 games. 2-1. Outside, it's 3-1. I mean, when you probably remember this pretty well, when we did the consolation game, or consolation game rather, for the Ralph Shaw tournament, King's Christian, a private Christian school out of Cherry Hill, went to play Bishop Eustace. You know, the one with several first-round draft picks in the MLB. That school. And Bishop Eustace racked up 13 runs in the first inning. As now Salisbury will take first base on a walk. But that game ended 22-0 after 5 innings, because Bishop Eustace eventually just stopped swinging at anything. So now Mount Ephraim has their 5th pitcher, Mr. Rocco Monaferrani. We'll take a quick break. You should too. It's 22-2. As I said before, the Dan Wilkins Show comes back next week with an interview from Colby Evans, part-time ARCA and NASCAR pit crew member and media member for the Racing Experts. In our hour and 45-minute interview, we go over all the hot-button issues in NASCAR and motorsports, and also have some fun personal stories as well. The first pitch to, let's see, who do we got up here? Liam Lyons is a ball. It's 1-0. In a game that started off rainy and humid, the humidity is still there, as that one was almost caught by a fan, but it is 1-1. Just went out of play with Monaferrani on the mound. You just also have to consider with the pitch counts and the forced days of rest, you just really makes you wonder. Really makes you wonder about the senior league. That one skips away. And he's going to jog out to get it, but they're not going to do anything about it. Here's, see down there, Hunter's talking to the Peyton Gardner, it looks like. Making some friendly conversation. You might as well, because with the score that we have, it's not pretty. 2-1 from Monaferrani. It is up and away, 3-1. And probably the only other times where I've had to deal with something like this where the blowout doesn't favor you. That one skips away. It's ball 4. This will bring up Mignotti again. Bases are loaded. were probably with the Oakland Cougars when we had this game versus, I want to say, Gloucester City. I want to say it was Gloucester City. It was either Gloucester City or Northern Burlington, one of the blue teams. It's not one that's outside. It's one of them. But the game was 47-0. Now, that was back when I did all of the games for Oakland. No ifs, ands, or buts. I went all the way from, on a home weekend, from 9 a.m. to about 5 p.m. It was like a full work day. And that game that was 47-0, it dragged on, just kept on dragging on for so long. It was hard to watch because it was the 100-pound kids. So it's a lot like this, where blowout's not in your favor. You can't really have fun with it because it's not your team that's winning. When Audubon was 10 running and mercy ruling teams left and right, you got to have some fun with it because that was at least something that was, beneficial. But there's another 4-pitch walk. Another run will score, and it is 23-2. Here's Enrico Tofano. He bats again. First pitch. Outside, 1-0. Outside, 2-0. Two-0 pitch. Called a strike, 2-1. And I heard somebody out in the Cherry Hill part of the stands with like whoa, something like that. But it's 23-2. Line drive, caught by Foster, and the inning is over. Well, Mount Ephraim either has to score 6 runs or we'll be going home early. 23-2. Cherry Hill leads, and going to the bottom of the 4th. Well, this looks like it's going to be the swan song of the night. Aiden Haddock is pitching as the Submariner, looking like the Adam Simber kind of delivery. Watch this. Ah, there's chips inside. Okay. You got me a good slice.
Brian!
We got another delivery.
Tell that coach to answer.
We got another delivery of the zucchini bread. Do you want this? So here's Diggy Hoff, 23-2. At this point, it's about padding your individual performances. in your individual stats for the year. As Diggy's mom points her cell phone down the third base line to his at-bat.
You're right, I'm sorry.
It's a strike. Ground ball, third base side. Picked up by the shortstop, throw to first, in time, one away. Here's Hunter Lowe. That is wonderful. First pitch, outside. Oh, it's a strike. Okay, 1-1. But watch this. It's like Spider-Man. Foul back, it's 0-2. I mean, in a 23-2 game, he's probably not a usual pitcher. But it reminds me of Craig Kimbrell, as there's another team flocking in here.
Well, they have a game at 8 o'clock.
Ah, that makes sense then. There's a powder blue team. The 0-2 is down low, 1-2. You know, it's kind of like that Sunday night baseball game back in April, Giants-Cardinals, where Albert Pujols pitched in the 9th inning. It's kind of like that, 23-2. You might as well. Now he throw. Whoa! Big man goes down. It's 2-2. That one was up and in near his head, and he took a back seat immediately. Now that one's inside, 3-2. But he was like pointed towards home plate. He just went straight down. 3-2 pitch. Outside. As he flings the bat with an extra spin rate on it. As here is A.J. Nopka with a runner on first and one away. Yeah, unless Mount Ephraim gets a couple extra run homes. That's great what they do. They communicate via radios because they're going to have a pinch runner for Hunter. Probably because he's not the most prolific runner out there. He stepped on the chalk line. That's a cardinal sin of baseball, Hunter. He stepped on the chalk line. Not supposed to do that. Here's Dominic Bagnato. No, the whole thing is if you ever watch pitchers as they exit the field or enter the field, they always step or hop over the line. It's a tradition as old as time. As it's 1-0 to Nopka. But you just don't step on the chalk line. I don't know if it has to do with respect for the grounds crew or what, but that is a tradition that's been going on since the 1800s.
These teams coming in for the 8 o'clock game got to be like taking a double take at the scoreboard.
I'd imagine so. 2-0. That one's way outside as he punched his glove. Haddock just punched his glove because he was out of frustration. He was like, not happy. Lehan on deck, the 3-0. That one will be outside, but called a strike, 3-1. 3-1 count. Bagnato on first. That one is outside. Ball 4, so 2 straight walks, and this will bring up Lehan.
Big rally coming up.
Or no. This is going to bring up Peyton Irwin. Yes. I gotta send him the timestamp of this at bat. The first pitch is a ground ball back to the mound. It's booted. Come on, run. Oh, he slides in the first base. He's out. Runners on second and third. He took the first pitch and he lined it as he gets applause from his side. He doesn't get many at-bats, but when he does, he always does them with a big smile. And this is his first year playing baseball ever. So you have to give him some credit.
We're happy to see him having fun.
Yeah, even in a 23-2 game. And he moved up the runners.
Yeah, he did.
So there you go. Now the next batter, possibly the last batter, will be number 6, Devin Reiner. Haddock gets into his Spider-Man stance. And the first pitch, strike one? No, ball one. A 1, or 1-0 rather. Strike one. 23-2. Peyton Irwin moved the runners over. Might as well be the MVP of the game for that. 1-1. Check swing doesn't go, and that one was inside, so it's 2-1. They're just having fun at this point. Last out. Looks like Monaferrani has a bat and is on deck. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Reimer down to his last strike. 23 runs for Cherry Hill American on 16 hits and no errors. Mount Ephraim 2 runs, 3 hits, 7 errors. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Ball game. So everybody will hop out of the dugouts. They will meet at the first and third base line. The Cherry Hill American outfielders, they meet into a circle. That's great to see. Got to have some fun and celebration. Final score today, 23-2 after 4 innings. We're going to turn the camera around real quick as they shake hands. So this was an unusual opportunity for me. This was really last minute, but we were able to bring in our equipment and at least have a fun time, even if the final score doesn't exactly show it. But from everybody here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, including the zucchini bread, that is the MVP of the game. Our MVP of the game is the zucchini bread made by Debbie, homemade recipe. You got to put that in like a magazine or something. But 23-2, the Cherry Hill American Ball Club takes a, let's say, rough win over Mount Ephraim as they take it on by 21 runs, 7 errors for Mount Ephraim. But from everybody here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, we'll see you next time. I'm going to try to possibly get something in from Blackwood, whether it's a tape delay of the district game or not. We'll figure that out when we cross that bridge, but we'll see y'all next time. Let's bring in Debbie.
Oh, where are we
Yeah,
going?
the camera's right there. Everybody say hi to Debbie, the MVP of the game for the zucchini bread.
Haha, I got MVP.